What's good with the soul family? It's your boy Damien back with another video. So today we talking about, can you trust spiritual leaders? Now, with the rise here of spirituality, spiritual awakeness, and people going on spiritual journeys, anytime there is a large demographic of people turning in a certain direction socially, there's also a rise of a large number of people who tend to come profit, deceive, capitalize, and misuse knowledge for their benefit. So I'm making this video today just to touch bases here on people who are brand new to this space of spirituality. Maybe you have just initially started a spiritual awakening, or you are uh, in a place to where you want to go out and explore and do some self-discovery because you have seen and witnessed uh, such a large number of people and a shift happening, and you recognize what's happening, and you want to kind of dig into the space a little bit to see what's going on, you know. So I'm making this video for you, the people who are new to the spiritual space and who are just beginning their journey of self-discovery or a spiritual awakening. Now, the whole spiritual realm is very multifaceted, and I'll start it this way. For ages, we have uh, been led spiritually by religion, and religion has served a large role in uh, pivoting people from darkness and giving them certain knowledge about God. And there's a Bible scripture that says, "I gave you milk, not solid food." And in the spiritual community, you'll hear a lot of different stuff. Some people are totally enraged and outraged by uh, anything that has to do with religion. Some people, some people may look at religion as like a starting point for people entering the spiritual space. So there's definitely got to be some forces today working against me getting this video done. I uh, I recorded this video inside, got interrupted. I recorded this video outside, and the audio or video uh, the sound was completely bad, and I have no understanding why. On one hand, here we have religion, and then on the other hand, here we have New Age spirituality. So some people view these two aspects of spirituality as oppositional, uh, religion versus New Age spirituality, and uh, New Age spirituality versus religion. And one is right, one is wrong. Now, I want to present it from a different perspective. I want you to view this like we have spirituality as a body. And then within this body, you have religion and you have New Age spirituality. And these are two cells within that body. And New Age spirituality is a cell that has essentially been developed and grown from religion. We'll put it that way. It is the involvement of religion. And this is all very biblical. So when you look at it as these things aren't a oppositional to each other, they're actually an expanded growth of one thing. And in the Bible it does say too that I gave you milk, not solid food, for you were not ready. And so me personally, I look at religion as a space that has basically maintained uh, monopoly on the soul growth for quite some time for the mass public. And with this shift that has occurred, and that you are watching, everybody seeing. I mean, especially if you're on the internet, you're going to come across videos talking about something new age in nature. Either it's uh, Reiki, chakras, meditation, manifestation, uh, esoteric, esoteric, numerology, astrology, uh, uh, karma, and you know, and that's like numerology, life path number, uh, and all these different aspects uh, that are attached in New Age spirituality, even cosmic, cosmic relational things, and star seeds, and uh, it's too much for me to even think of off the top of my head. But you've come across these videos that journey into things that are outside of the traditional religious spaces that have maintained basically maintained like this level of authority over soul growth for quite some time. And we're moving into a space to where the whole world is watching this shift. And anytime there is a mass shift happening and people are sitting back and they're studying the social nature and sociology and the psychology of the general public and what the general public is needing, what the general public is engaged with. You have people who are disingenuous in their intention. And these people generally is what we call opportunists. An opportunist, they look for they look for certain waves to grip a hold of and profit and deceive in business, and they will maintain an aura of they have a certain level of knowledge that could benefit you or that could change your life or that could help change your situation, and they'll sell you. This is capitalism. Capitalism and business is uh, basically the business of making money off of what somebody doesn't know, their ignorance, and selling them something that they need. And nothing wrong with capitalism, you know. Especially we have people in spiritual spaces that do run spiritual businesses, and they should get paid for their time and their energy and what they're delivering, especially if it's helpful to people. But then on the other hand, you have people that are aware of this, and they're just delivering what they feel you want to hear. They feel that they can make some money off of, and these people are excellent at deceiving and finessing and appearing to be what you think you need. And this is what this video is about. You have to learn to really discern the difference between someone who is genuine in nature and someone who is out looking for celebrity, out looking for an opportunity to profit off your ignorance. Uh, because if you're at the start of your spiritual journey or your awakening, I remember that space of going into different spaces and sectors on this like self-discovery mission and seeking knowledge. And initially you get caught up in conspiracies, and some people honestly never even make it past that whole thing of conspiracies, and they get stuck in conspiracies forever, the rabbit hole of conspiracies, because your mind, your soul and your mind is actually trying to take you somewhere to really open up and expand your level of knowledge. So you're becoming more open-minded to what you haven't considered. And this rabbit hole of conspiracies can take you down a I mean, it could take you down a whole rabbit hole where you believe everything is a whole conspiracy, and then you never even move on. And then there's levels above that, and there's levels where you move into different sectors and you start studying different things. And the whole new age spiritual space is very wide. And the truth is, people move into spirituality mainly because there's an inner call. There's an inner call that you want to know more. You've been called to move into learning more. You've been called to move into uh, finding more meaning behind your own personal experience, because what you're receiving in probably the space of religion is uh, not fulfilling and giving you the answers that you need. You may be learning things, uh, basic foundations of spiritual principles and things like that, but the but you're not getting things that directly identify with your journey, and you feel like your journey is very different, and this inner call is not going to leave you, because people are called. Many are called, few are chosen. And the whole chosen part is choosing yourself, choosing above probably where you're in the space where you're with a community and you're getting kind of spoon fed, because religion is basically the dynamic of you have uh, leadership, and then you have like this following, and you're getting kind of spoon fed. So moving into more spiritual, new age spirituality space, it's more where you're starting to seek an individual relationship with God, and knowing God on terms that relate to your experience, and wanting to understand things on a more personalized level of who you are at your core and your soul. So, and like I said, I don't view one better than the other, mainly because this is a frequency thing. If on a level to where somebody is energetically and frequency wise, being part of a religion may be all they need in that community space. But some people require much more before they transition. And this call will be heavy because they are meant to move into a level of consciousness in this lifetime, uh, because that's what they signed up for, and this call is heavy. So you moving into this space of spirituality, new age spirituality, uh, you're gonna have to have a large amount of discernment not to be deceived by people that are gimmicks and people that are pretending to be some level of guru or a spiritual leader, but they have not walked the path. Hey, chill out. They have not walked the path to where, hey, chill out. They have not walked the path to where they really know about what they're talking about. And, they just heard a few things and they heard this and they heard that, and they're spewing these things back at you, hoping that the connection of words sound good enough to make it seem like they know what they're talking about. But a true person that that I would seek leadership from is a person who's actually been through some stuff, who's actually walked the road. And many times these people are people who have lived life in some level of darkness. They lived life at some deep level of darkness and they've overcome these aspects of darkness that you are seeking to understand, and you are seeking to discover why you walked such a path, you know, and what does it mean. And these people are gonna have you're gonna be able to resonate with their stories. You're gonna be able to resonate with what they've been through, you know. And I'll tell you this: if a person is not willing to jump into like anything about themselves or their journey, it's a big sign that they possibly have not walked the path or walked the road, because the biggest thing about the spiritual path is that it is very much connected to this aspect of darkness. It's like a lone wolf path, where the lone wolf is related. The lone wolf is a spiritual natured animal. That is why the lone wolf in the middle of the night, it is howling to the moon. This is like the lone wolf calling out to God, like, hey, I have no one. I need understanding. What do I do next? What is this all about? What does this mean? So the lone wolf is the path of like the chosen person. And then on the other hand, you have the ravenous wolf dressed in sheep clothing. That is a whole different aspect. With anything good, there's something bad. That wolf is somebody who has a higher level of consciousness and awareness that goes to deceive. This is the person that you have to look out for. People who have traveled some level of path and they have some knowledge and they implement this knowledge to like, pull a quick one on you. Maybe they follow enough people to spill out some stuff to you so they can sell you on something, but this journey is very personal. And this is why a lot of people don't leave like the religious space, is because new age spirituality is a very personal journey. Spirituality in general, moving out that religious space, it is a very personal journey. And above that, you can move into new age things and you can get lost. You can get lost and probably lose your mind if you get caught on the wrong things, or get caught listening and listening to the wrong people and listening to the wrong information, because uh, they're just spilling off all these half truths, you know. And at some level, everything is a half truth, because like we're actually living uh, at a human experience, and we can't see this thing from a source perspective. So even if source or God or the creator is giving you information, it's just a segment. So like at different frequency levels, you're gonna have people teaching you things, and it doesn't mean that at lower frequency levels it's wrong, and at higher frequency levels it's right or wrong. At different frequency, things are gonna identify with different people, and as you move up this scale in enlightenment, even an enlightened person is even giving you a level of half truth, because it's only from what the human mind can is capable of retaining, or the human mind is capable of understanding. So it's at all levels there are some level, not a full truth, but we are moving into a deeper understanding, and we are moving into a deeper awareness to where uh, that is that is what that is what's given, you know. So moving into new age spirituality is going to require for you to have a very high level of discernment, and it's going to require for you to be uh, be willing to lose yourself before you find yourself, and that is a scary thing to lose yourself, to find yourself. But you have to lose your old mind to find your new mind, and you have to retire your old heart to get a new heart. And at the end of the day, you're gonna have to be able to reflect back on this inner truth that's connected to your soul, and does something identify with your soul. Your soul has called you, so your soul is always the compass. And you don't want to drift so far to where you caught up in spaces that don't support truly who you are and support the path that you're supposed to travel. So you have to be discerning of like who and what you're giving your attention to, and what's their intention. So in all, New Age spirituality, there is nothing wrong with New Age spirituality. There's nothing wrong with religion. And this thing, like I tell you, it's a frequency thing. And when it's time for you to move into a deeper understanding, you're going to be called to do that. And people that you may even leave behind, they may call you, they may try to say you're what you're doing is demonic or something, if you're, especially if you're coming from like spaces of where you moving from Christianity. And and this is because from that point of view, you're moving into spaces of the unknown. And most people are meant, I mean, some people are meant to stay where it's comfortable, and some people are meant to move into the unknown. How else do you really figure out and connect these dots? So you gotta find somebody that you resonate with the story, uh you resonate with them. You know what I mean? And don't spend your days listening to crap just because you know somebody is acting like a doggone expert. I mean, and truly, any real spiritual leader is not even trying to be a spiritual leader. To keep it real with you, like most highly spiritual people that are developed and actually went through this journey and found wholeness, they are more concerned about leading themselves, because in leading themselves, I heard this one time. It says when once you learn more about yourself, you'll know more about the world. So there are always going to be people that are constantly growing, people that are constantly learning, and people that are constantly evolving. And some of the most enlightened people, like eventually they even leave spaces, public spaces, because it's an energetic thing. Um, Especially if they're meant to travel farther. Some people are designated to be a point of contact, and this just all depends on like soul contracts and stuff like that. But with that said, the truth about spirituality, spiritual leaders, and spiritualists is that it's the space of the unknown, and only the few the chosen few that are courageous enough to go will go, and they will meet whatever mission serves them in this lifetime. With that said, I'm out.